Central Minnesota Sports Hub. It's the Morning Sports Desk, presented by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and streaming on YouTube.
It is the Morning Sports Desk on a Friday, the 11th of April. I'm CJ Baumgartner. There's Corey Tackman. This is the Morning Sports Desk, powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. Corey, before we get into our softball game yesterday and our baseball game today, there is a couple of items that are on the Sports Cow Facebook page. Can I get a moo?
Moo.
All right, what do we got going on there?
It sounds like a couple of record breakers is what we saw. And the first one came from the fine folks in Pillager. And can you pull that one up, or do you not have that in front of you?
Pull that up, Jamie. Can we pull that up?
Yeah, Jamie, you get that? Jamie, pull that up.
Jamie, pull that up. Jamie, can you? Jamie, can you pull that? Can you pull that up? Yeah, that one.
Yeah, we got some track and field record breakers, and posted and shared on the Sports Cow Facebook page, like CJ mentioned. But Violet Metz has broken 2 school records for the Pillager Huskies, and the season has effectively just started. The 200 meters she did she broke at NDSU when they had an indoor meet there, and then they just had a home meet last night, and Violet breaks the school record in the 300 hurdles. So pretty unbelievable start to the season for Violet. Look forward to good things coming from her the rest of this track and field season. And then it was just announced, well, as we're doing this, CJ, like 10 minutes ago, Bertha Hewitt has announced that Brady Rock has broken a school record. He's now the school record holder in the 800-meter run with a time of 2:01:33. That is a record that Bertha Hewitt has held since 1974. Mike Osborne is the previous record holder. And by this point, if you don't know what Brady Rock is doing in the running world, you just haven't been paying attention, because he's crushing everybody. This is now the school record in the 800, but he also has records for the 1600, the 3200, and is a member of the 4x1 and the 4x4. Now, CJ, you were not a track guy. I was not a track guy. Your brother was, and my brother was. So that means we know enough to know that a 100, a 400, an 800, and a 1600, and a 3200 is everything but the 200 that Brady has his little fingers in as far as school records go. That dude can get after it.
Is that good?
Seems good.
Sounds pretty darn good. Yeah, congratulations to Brady. That kid puts in a lot of work. It's really, really something. So Congratulations to him. All right, now let's talk a little bit about baseball, softball action here. Yesterday, we had a softball game on the airwaves between Wadena, Deer Creek, and Menahga. We talked about how this is going to be two teams that are not only going to be vying for the Park Region Conference, but also vying at the top of the Section 8AA South subsection. Wadena, Deer Creek was the 1 seed a year ago and the conference champions. Menahga was right behind them, second in both of those, respectively. And this game started out, Menahga got the early 1-0 lead. Were able to scrape a run across in the first, and then Wolverines got some runners on throughout the first couple innings, couldn't bring anybody home, and then a 3-run third inning off a couple errors in the outfield by the Wolverines. The Braves were able to take advantage. They got up 4-1, and then the Braves bats just were they were relentless throughout the game, and ultimately things kind of snowballed, and what ended up being a 12-1 victory in 5 innings for the Menahga Braves. So a nice statement win for Menahga to get things going early in the season. Let me just run through you, Corey, the top 3 hitters for the Menahga Braves in yesterday's game in my final stat book here. Anna Pietola went 4 for 4 with 4 doubles. And 4 runs scored. Drea Christensen went 3 for 3 with an RBI, 2 runs scored. And then Joey Cole went 2 for 3, had 2 doubles and 4 RBIs, included a bases clearing double that pushed him past the mercy rule late in the game. Oh, and Joey Cole from the Circle, by the way, threw 5 innings of 1-run ball.
Yeah, she's good.
Is that good? Is that good? Yeah, that's a big statement win for Menahga. It's early in the season, and if you're Wadena Deer Creek, you go, hey, there were some opportunities. The game got out of hand, but also when you look at it from early in the game, there were a few things that, again, if and whatever, obviously it's all hypothetical, but you're like, if we were able to maybe get a run across in the first inning, or the inning they did get a run across was, I believe, like the top of the 4th or something like that. Like they were able to get one across and they had a couple others on base. Like maybe if they take a little more advantage, if you take advantage in a couple other situations, and if you don't have those errors in the outfield that kind of let some of those big innings spiral out of control, the game certainly looks a lot closer, and I think is a lot closer. I don't think a 12-1 victory for Menahga, although it's impressive for them, and they're not going to apologize for that, nor should they. It's probably not representative of the difference in talent between these two teams. But that being said, Menahga played a cleaner game. They took advantage of their opportunities, and they were able to get the win. So they go to Menahga 3-0 on the season, 3-0 in the Park Region Conference, 1-0 in Section 8AA. Wadena Deer Creek goes to 1-1. They are 1-1 in the conference, 0-1 in Section 8AA play. And I think that's the biggest thing for Wadena Deer Creek is trying to figure out that outfield combination. Obviously, they only graduated one senior from last year, but that senior was a starter in the outfield. So you need to find who that next one is going to be. And a couple miscues there, I think, just over throughout the rotation of outfielders for the Wadena Deer Creek softball team. You just kind of have to, who gets the first shot? Okay, how does this go? Does it work? Does it not work? Is there somebody else who maybe deserves a chance? Whatever. It's early in the season. It's April 20th. It's April, not April 20th yet. It's April 10th as of yesterday's game. How do things look by May 10th will be more representative of that.
It did not quite, the game did not quite live up to the billing we thought it was going to yesterday. Our it's going to be a fun one t-shirts probably did not come to fruition in that one.
Stop the presses.
It can be, I think you can chalk a lot of this up to just it's early season blues and early season, one team not kind of holding their end of the bargain, the other team taking advantage of it, which happens, especially once errors are committed that way. You fully expect both of these teams to be in the mix would be an understatement. Like these are just straight up contenders for going to a state tournament by the end of the year.
Exactly. Looking on to the baseball realm on the Superstation today, 105.9 FM, streaming online at WDenaRadio.com or the Superstation K-106 mobile app. We got Park Region Conference baseball. Stop me if you've heard this before. Menahga versus Wadena Deer Creek. Oh, how about this? 4:15 pregame, 4:30 for. Darn it. 4:15 pregame, 4:30 first pitch. This will be from the Wadena Deer Creek baseball field. First broadcast of the Wolverines and Braves in baseball this season. I know Menahga, I didn't see who they were playing, but they did have a game yesterday that was taking place as well in their home field and could kind of peek over at the scoreboard. A close game there. So we'll see kind of how things fare today in a conference matchup against the Wolverines, and we'll go from there.
Mm-hmm.
On our spring sports broadcast season. Again, we update it every single week, the broadcast schedule. You can find it all online at WDenaRadio.com or the Superstation K-106 mobile app. Corey, we got to talk about the fine folks at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena.
I'm going to keep it really straightforward here today. If you want to have fun, you want your kids to have fun, you want to have a place where they can be contained and still kind of run around like maniacs all at the same time, the FunZone Arcade is the place to bring them. Unbelievable number of games, unbelievable opportunities to win prizes, collect points, earn points, and go like crazy. And if you are not a FunZone Rewards member, you need to be. You can triple the fun through the end of the month when you visit the FunZone Arcade in Wadena. How do you do that? Well, you stop by the FunZone and play your favorite games. You could buy a new FunZone card at the FunZone or online. You can reload the card you currently currently have at the FunZone or online. You have through the end of the month to do this, a chance to earn 1,000 free FunZone tickets. And then, oh, by the way, while you're there, maybe you are taking in a little Masters golf this weekend, and you're thinking to yourself, I don't want to leave the couch. I'm watching the Masters all weekend long. I'm going to order Pizza Ranch, and they're going to deliver my favorite pizza, my favorite chicken, my favorite mashed potatoes. Whatever it is your go-to order. The Pizza Ranch will bring it to you. Of course, you can always stop in. You can always take out. Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena, presenting the Morning Sports Desk.
Should mention, too, if you want to watch the Masters, you can also just go to the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. They got plenty of TVs there that'll have that on there.
It's all I did all afternoon yesterday. It's all I'm going to do all afternoon today.
Hello, friends.
That's the best, man. Have you seen all the stipulations and rules broadcasters have? The broadcasters have? For example, they're not fans.
Of course.
They're patrons.
Ah.
They're required, are the broadcast crews, to call them patrons. That is not the rough. It is the first cut or the second cut. And then, just a bunch of other silly things that they have to. You are maybe on occasion allowed to accidentally call them spectators.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's tons of rules for fans, too.
Yep. But the concession stand prices, pretty cheap.
Super cheap, yeah.
Super cheap, super good. From what I've heard, it costs $1 million to get in, but once you're in, you save so much money on food.
Well, and you're going to spend money at the pro shop, and you're going to buy your merch and do whatever you want. I actually, as I was watching yesterday, I think I figured I have a lot of bucket list venues that I would like to watch and take in person. The least accessible of all of them is Augusta and the Masters, and I might be willing to give up all the other ones.
Yeah,
to the Masters. I would love to go to the Super Bowl in person. I don't need to. I would give up the Super Bowl to go to the Masters. I still have never been to Fenway. I would love to go to Fenway, but if I could go to the Masters, I would be willing to Fenway, someone else can go.
Glorified dump, I say.
Well, I made it to Old Yankee Stadium, which is really cool. I would love to go to Cameron Indoor. I would love to sit amongst the Cameron crazies. I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
There's a few bucket lists, but the Masters is, I think, quite possibly number one.
It's got to be. So
Kentucky Derby.
Yep, that's also up there. I think my favorite Masters meme is the you ever see it? It shows up on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and it's and it basically just says me and the boys at the Masters, and it just shows a guy in the tee box, and you can it follows the ball. It's whoosh, and then you can just see it go right into the crowd, and then it goes there, and then you see a badly photoshopped somebody falling down. That would be me and the boys at the Masters. What? I just hit a spectator in the forehead.
I did the ball off of Frankenstein's fat foot. If I were ever famous enough to get chosen to golf in a pro-am,
mm-hmm.
I'd have to consider not doing it.
Yeah, do you want to make the not top 10?
I'd have to consider. I'd kill someone. Listen, you cannot form a funnel here. That's not how this would work. By the way, I'm not saying that's a possibility. I'm just saying every sports fan has had a moment of could I make a corner three in an NBA game? I just want to face one Randy Johnson foul. This is one of those, if I ever had the opportunity to tee off in front of I would kill someone. I'd have to seriously consider not accepting the offer.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'll never get one, but yeah, I'd have to. That's the calculus you got to make.
I want everyone to know that if I ever get selected for something like this, I'm accepting it. You should line up behind me.
Or at least get your phone out.
Yeah, or just go 250 yards out. I'll never reach you. There's so many places you could stand.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Minnesota Timberwolves get a win last night over the Memphis Grizzlies. We talked about it kind of in that text thread between me, you, and Zeke. Mentioned at the beginning of the game, about maybe at the end of the first quarter, this is going to be a fun stupid game, isn't it? And it was a fun, stupid game.
I mean, pretty much nobody missed a shot all game long.
Nobody played any defense. Like, it was.
No, I would love.
It had an all-star game vibe.
Memphis shot like 70% from three. I don't know what the final number ended up being. It was stupid high. They just didn't miss pretty much all game long. I don't know what the Timberwolves shooting percentage was. It was all, I mean, they scored the final score was like almost exactly double what the halftime score was.
Yep.
Just that the Wolves were down by 5. They ended up winning by whatever, once you would like project the score out.
Uh-huh.
I mean, 140 plus points is a stupid number.
Super stupid. The Wolves from 3 yesterday shot 45%, and from the field they shot 55%.
That's good.
That's good. Do that.
Just do that. No, I learned a couple of things.
Never mind. Yeah, that was the Wolves from yesterday's game. Trying to find the Memphis. Memphis from the 3-point line shot 50%, from the field 51.
That's crazy. What I learned and or relearned from last night's game.
Yeah.
Is I'm correct about Ja. I'm just not into it.
That guy Anthony Edwards gets a lot of real and valid criticism about how he acts on the court. That never happens with Ja. Ja acts like a baby the entire time, and everybody goes, "Oh, look at the guy. He does the grenade thing."
If Anthony Edwards didn't play for my favorite team, I'd probably find him annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the truth about Ja Morant. People in Memphis love Ja. He is there. He's the best athlete Memphis has ever had, ever, period, exclamation point, whatever.
How did you put that Zach Randolph slander on here?
It's just true, though. Like, I get it. I get Love and Zebo. No one's been more famous from Memphis than Ja Morant, who is and can be absolutely special. He sucks. I will have no interest in that guy.
At least Ant is like comically endearing. Ja is just a lot of fake tough guy energy.
Well, I don't know because I'm not a fan of his. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I were from Memphis, I'd probably love him and would understand it. And the closest thing I can get to understanding it is it might be that everyone else is starting to get annoyed with Ant, and I think they're idiots.
Did Ja ever tell Obama to stand down?
Yeah. And then the other, no, just Ja would actually slap him. The other thing I learned watching that game or whatever the right word is here is I kind of like Zach Edey.
Yeah.
He just it's stunning how well he moves considering he's a literal giant.
Yep.
I don't know. He has good hands. He airballed a 4-footer at one point last night. That was not a great look. He has good hands. He moves well. It's like some guys, they look clunky when they're that big.
Yeah. And
he doesn't look clunky for like a traditional big man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's maybe one of the worst tattoos I've ever seen on his forearm. I saw that in one of the close-ups in a timeout huddle or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm for Zach Edey, minus the part that he plays for Memphis and is a Purdue guy. I mean, I don't know if there's two institutions that I like
dislike more. Yeah.
But he's fun.
But he's there. And here's the other thing with the Wolves. They had a 20-point fourth quarter lead. What could go wrong? They held on to it.
It got dicey there for a while, but you
knew Memphis was going to go on a run at some point.
Of course. And they made shots. The Wolves kept making shots.
Yeah. Maybe Memphis should have tried a zone defense. I don't know. That's what they should have did.
I have nothing good to say about Memphis.
Everybody made a big deal that they've won 3 in a row because, whatever, and they're getting momentum. It's like, yeah, but they lost the first 3 games after you fired a head coach. The first 3 games after you fire a coach, you're supposed to win because you're supposed to get that momentum of like that kick in the butt of like, oh, we got to show that it wasn't. We get either 1, show it was coach's fault we were losing, not our fault, or 2, we got to show everyone that we are a good team and whatever. And they lost 3 in a row. And they're like, but they won 3 in a row. It's like, yeah, okay. All right, fine.
Cool.
You're 500.
Good luck.
Fired the coach. That's not what you want.
No.
Because turns out probably wasn't the coach's fault. Anyway, but
getting hired immediately.
Yep. And so is Mike Malone. Like, those guys are good.
They're probably gonna be each other. They're probably just gonna switch.
Right. It's a non-zero chance.
Denver next year, and Malone is gonna coach Ja. And it'll be perfect because Malone doesn't want to play anybody. He'll just get to run Ja out there all the time. Just go do your thing, baby boy. Get it done.
Get it done. Load up with your Glocks.
Don't. No guns. No gun jokes with Ja. We can't do it.
Yeah.
He'll take it seriously, CJ. This is just for public safety at this point.
The important part about this win, remember, we said there was one game to lose. It was the Milwaukee one because it doesn't impact the tiebreakers. This one will help the Wolves and the tiebreakers. They got the win, and now the Timberwolves control their own destiny to get out of the play-in and into the playoffs proper. If they win out, they can do no worse than the 6th seed. I'm looking here at the NBA playoff.
If the playoffs were today, they'd be an 8th seed.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to look here at playoff probabilities here in the Western Conference, according to Basketball Reference, the Minnesota Timberwolves right now are the 6th seed in the NBA, and if they go 2-0, they will remain the 6th seed. So they have right now a 39% chance at getting a 4 seed, a 24% chance at the 5, a 15% chance at the 6, an 11% chance at the 7, and a 6.1% chance at the 8. The Wolves have a chance to still get the 4. They need a couple teams to lose in certain order and whatever. But the point is, if the Wolves win out, they will get the 6th seed, and they will not have to go into the play-in. And in the single game, anything can happen, whatever. And the possibility of if you stumble in that first play-in game, you have to win just to get in. And if you get in, you got a first-round matchup against Oklahoma City. So like, it was an important win for the Wolves to get there. They now control their destiny. And who do they play, Corey, next? But the Brooklyn Nets. And not only that, D'Angelo Russell and another starter, I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, are not playing for Brooklyn. And Brooklyn has an incentive to keep losing because they have 2 more games left to the end of the year, and they
maybe they should start D'Lo then if they want to lose.
Hey, he felt like he was held back in Minnesota, honestly.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, so I'm glad he's able to spread his wings in Brooklyn again.
Honestly, me too.
But just it's huge for the Wolves to try and get that. And also you push Memphis down to where they're basically relegated to probably ending up in the play-in.
Good. I like everything about it. Now, are you I'm going to say this every day. With 6 games to go, I said they were going to go 5-1. You said 4-2. So, are you still scared about the Milwaukee thing? Are you scared about how this team does against teams that are dog duty? Are you afraid? Are you projecting a loss here, or is that all she wrote? They're going in. They're going to go 2-0 over their last 2 and get that, no worse than a 6.
Well, here's the thing. So the Wolves and the Nets are both on the second night of back-to-backs. The Wolves, at least, are going home. It's back to Target Center. But they played on a national TV game that was late. So they had a late flight back to Minneapolis. And now they got to play again tonight. But, that being said, Brooklyn's really bad, and they're mailing it in and whatever. I think the Wolves should be able to get a win there. But what'll scare me is that the Wolves will win. All of the scenarios will line up for them to get a 4 seed if they can just beat Utah. And it's the Utah game that scares me more than the Brooklyn game for whatever reason. I don't know if that's just cynicism, if that's paranoia, whatever, if that's just trying to doubtcast. The reality is the Wolves should go 2-0 in these games, and they probably will go 2-0. But my 4-2 still is in play.
It sure is.
So is the 5-1 also.
Now, my college roommate text thread is split on how half of us think they're going to go undefeated and half of us think they're going to lose one of these games and really just throw a pickle into this whole thing.
Uh-huh. All right, let's wrap things up by talking a little Twins. They lost again yesterday. There was a lot of consternation about Rocco Baldelli pulling Bailey Ober after 6 innings and Why didn't he let him pitch the 7th? Because Cole Sands came in and blew the lead by giving up 2 runs, and the Twins lose 3-2. 1, Bailey Ober was losing velocity. He was starting to tick down. 2, he had a blow up outing because he was sick 2 outings ago, and like you're just not going to push guys in early April. And the other thing is, whatever. I mean, that's up for debate. You can be mad about it, sure, that's fine. It's always second guessing bullpen decisions is just a thing in baseball like that.
And this is important. What about what Rocco has done over the last however long he's been manager? Like, how are you if you could not have seen this exact roadmap working out like it did, you're not paying attention. Just pay attention. He was coming out of this game as of 4 years ago. That's just what they're going to do.
Well, it's a lot of like, oh, spreadsheet Rocco took him out while the pitch count was so low. What's going on? It's like, I mean, his velocity was going, like his pitches were getting slower, and he was going to face the lineup a third time. Like, wouldn't that be a gut reaction? Wouldn't that be he's starting to lose it a little bit?
Also, don't you have a bullpen that you're supposed to trust?
Right. And by the way, everybody's complaining about the Twins bullpen. They came into that game with the best bullpen ERA in baseball. And after yesterday's loss, they're the second best bullpen ERA in baseball.
The
consternation shouldn't be going towards the bullpen or like the pitcher, whatever. You can second guess the Rocco decision. That's fine. Like, I don't care that much. What I'm trying to say is, why do we keep looking at the pitching when the offense has been garbage all year long? Like,
it has been.
That's where we need to be looking at. The Twins, again, leave runners in scoring position. They do a lot. They do the classic thing where they take a lot of great at-bats. They can even get runners on, and then they just, for lack of a better term, pee down their leg and strand runners.
Yeah.
And it's happened every time. It's been a constant of this team for years. Some years it just is less egregious than others. And when the Twins lose 3-2, I'm not going to go, that darn pitching staff couldn't hold it together.
Yeah.
They lose that 7-1 lead. Yeah, that's on the pitching staff. But a 3-2 loss, that's on the offense. Throughout the first part of the season, they have an average under 200, and their OPS is just below 600. Not good.
They are 25th in the league in runs per game. They're tied with Seattle, 3.38 runs per game. You want to know who they're in front of? Colorado, who's miserable. Houston, Atlanta, and the White Sox are under 3 runs per game.
By the way, all of those teams you mentioned are having poor starts to the year.
Really poor start. So no surprise here. That's what the Twins are going through. By the way, the Yankees are averaging 6.83 runs per game. Holy balls, is that a lot?
Wouldn't it be nice to play in a short porch?
I mean,
they are just a lot of good.
They're not 3 more runs per game short.
Yeah.
They do also have Aaron Judge, which is helpful.
Very.
The offense is not doing.
No, not doing what they need to do. So whatever. That's our Twins thing. Instead of talking about them, let's do a little daily walk-off.
Yeah.
Corey, explain to the good folks at home what a daily walk-off is.
I don't know. It's not really terribly difficult. We're going to get a list of 16 names, I do believe, and we have to fit them into 4 categories. And you get 3 outs to try to make sure everybody is lined up in the category that they need to be lined up in. You can pick any team in Major League Baseball. CG and I will wisely pick the Minnesota Twins. And you get 3 outs, 3 chances, whatever, to line people up the way they need to be lined up. Pretty straightforward, don't you think?
Yep. Today is in memory of Octavio Dotel and Blanco. So there we...
Oh, yeah. Octavio Dotel just died. Was that yesterday? 2 days ago when that was announced?
Yep. Yes,
wow.
It was.
All right. So the 91 stuff should probably be pretty easy to narrow down our 91 names.
Pretty easy. On the 2005 roster, LaTroy was not on the Twins, I believe, by 05. I think, right?
I think I'd probably move him out of there. I would do Punto, and I think I like.
I'm wondering where to go with Mauer.
The only other thing is
5 best on base perspective.
Here's the thing though, is like Oh, played on 8+ teams.
That's LaTroy.
Correct. Might it also be? Boy, I think that might be right. Hold on, though.
I'm wondering what to do, though, because this is the 2012 top 5 best on base percentage, and I can't remember.
We can't have JC Romero can't be in there because he's a pitcher, and I think isn't Ramon Ortiz a pitcher too?
Yep. Well, I wonder here if it's 2012. It says top 5 best on base percentage, but that's got to be. I'm guessing that's on the team, and the 2012 Twins are pretty bad. So I wonder.
Maybe Ortiz. I can't remember. I don't remember how many teams JC Romero played for.
Yeah, but
do Ortiz instead. Move JC Romero. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I like that.
Played on 8+ teams. Does Punto fall into that? Probably not, but he played for a lot at the end.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know what to do with JC Romero, unless maybe you swap him out with Morneau.
No, I think that's right.
Yeah, that's probably the play.
Okay, we got Herbie, Kirby, and Chili on the 91 team. I mean, there's no one else that could be there. We've got on the 2005 roster, Nathan Punto Romero. I think that seems good there. On base percentage, Mauer, Carroll, Morneau. I mean, you would assume that. Well, Nick Punto wasn't on the team in 2012, was he?
No, he was not by that point.
Yeah, man. I think that's right. I like this a lot.
All right, here we go. Taking a swing. Batter up. And here we go. Bam, bam, bam.
Yes.
Go!
I like this game.
Take that, Zeke.
I like this game. This is so much easier than the
immaculate grid.
It is funny, though, because there are times when you're like, all right, this name absolutely goes here. And then you get to 2 categories over, and you're like, uh-oh.
That definitely doesn't go here anymore.
This is about batting, and I have nothing but pitchers left. This is bad.
This is not good. I don't.
I do.
What's happening? So,
nice.
All right, that'll do it for us. I'm CJ Baumgartner, Corey Tackman, Morning Sports Desk, powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone in our arcade in Wadena. See you Monday.
Powered by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Follow the Morning Sports Desk on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And watch every show on YouTube.